言語を学ぶことは楽しいし単純だから独学でも大丈夫とか、大学で日本語を勉強するのは楽しいのかななどなど耳にします。僕は独学して大学で勉強したことがありますので、このトピックは面白いだと思います。独学と大学勉強との違いと僕の経験について話しましょう。So today I wanted to make a quick video on university study versus self-study. So I've had the experience of both throughout my time studying Japanese, and I wanted to share my experiences with both and maybe the pros. I don't really care for cons because I think any interest in the language, any type of study is good. So the first good thing about university study, I think, is it gives students a goal and a pace that they need to achieve. So a lot of the problem with learning a language is that people aren't very good at setting their own goals or keeping a certain pace. And I think at the starting point of learning languages, it's quite important to cultivate a routine and keep pushing towards a goal. So university is a great place to establish goals and start to feel like you're making quick progress in a language. So that's the first point. I think the university offers that. So the second good point that I experienced with university learning is that I had to learn how to learn the language. So having an introspective view on how you learn language is very good because you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and university cultivates that because they set a pace and a goal that you have to achieve. You have to push yourself to learn a lot of things very quickly, and to do that you're going to have to know how you learn, well, at least to be successful at university anyway. So the third good point with university is that you get to meet a lot of like-minded people who are interested in the same things and have similar goals to you. So the reason this is important with language is that you need to keep motivated. And for me, being in a group of people who also want to get good at Japanese, or they want to move to Japan or work in Japan, it's really good to cultivate your future ideas of what you want from the language. And you get to, just enjoy your time at university, which was surprising for me. I actually ended up enjoying university, which I never thought I would. I just started going there to get my degree, and then I ended really enjoying the time I spent at university. So meeting lots of people is great. You also get to, so the fourth point would be that it opens up a lot of opportunities within your field of study. So for me, studying Japanese, I was able to make a lot of Japanese friends, learn a lot more about the culture, and universities often offer exchange programs and study tours and things of that nature. So you really do get a lot of opportunities with university study, and there's a lot of advice from the teachers who teach at university, who have done what you're wanting to do, and they can give you a lot of advice. So overall, I think university is a great place to start learning a language or keep getting into intermediate level. I think it's a really good place to study language. So on the other hand, you have self-study. So the first good point about self-study is that that it is self-study. So you get to do whatever you want. There are no rules. There's no assessment pieces. There's no boring word lists and grammar lists that don't interest you or don't have any use for you. So that's a good point, but that can also be a struggle for self-learning because you need to set your own goals and objectives and hold yourself accountable for those goals. For me, I set very, very big goals for myself, and often I don't achieve them, and then I start to feel like I'm failing at the language, or that maybe it's all too hard and maybe I want to give up. But luckily for me, I never get to the point where I want to give up, and I just keep going. And if that happens, I usually just take a turn and change the direction in which I'm going. So for example, recently I've been doing a lot of book study, grammar study, and it's been great. I've learned a lot of stuff, but this year I'm actually changing that up and doing more of an immersion style learning, a lot more reading and a lot more comprehensible input, which is a whole nother video in itself. But to get back to this video, the second good point of self-learning is you set your own pace. So if you think that you're going too slow, you can speed it up. If you think you're going too fast and it's becoming overwhelming, just take a break, slow it down. And it really is satisfying when you set yourself a goal and you achieve that goal. So it can be really good for motivation if you can achieve your goals. So that's another good point of self-study. So with self-study, my advice would be to set both small goals and large goals. A lot of advice tells you to set small goals, which is great because then you have a sense of achievement every time you hit them. But if you don't have a big goal, it's hard to keep making small goals. So think of it as you want to get to floor 10 on a building, and you need to take the stairs. So you need to get each floor, you need to make a goal. So that's how I like to visualize it. You want to get to the next level, and then your final goal is the floor that you want to get to. Overall, I think university study and self-study can be quite similar, but they all are also very different. And I do suggest people, if they're interested, going to university to study a language, because you do get all of those experiences and all of those opportunities. It really helps solidify my study habits, which I'm not sure if I would have been able to do purely self-study. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you've studied at university or if you prefer self-study. I think it's interesting to hear different people's opinions on these topics. So please do leave a comment. But until next time, ja matane.